All the 2016-17 season with an Achilles tear has been on a tear, averaging 24.8 minutes per game, 16.5 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, shooting 39% from the field and beyond the arc. As we are underway here in Las Vegas, Florida Gulf Coast, against the Depaul Blue Demons. Blue Demons on the attack first. A high-scoring octane offense against a great defensive team in Florida Gulf Coast. Down in the lane, nice pass on the right-hand side. Artis Grays with the bucket, first bucket of the game, and then coast to coast comes Florida Gulf Coast. Adderley lays it up and in. Tatiana Adderley averaging 6.4, 9 rebounds. That leads Florida Gulf Coast in that department. Campbell has to pick up her dribble. She gives up to Millender. Millender back over to Campbell. Down in low, nice pass. Great two passes on the first two possessions for the Depaul Blue Demons. Campbell lays it up and in. Kelly Campbell has her team up 4-2 as we have a whistle on the floor. I believe timeout was called by Florida Gulf Coast. It will be the media timeout, so 9:06 remaining here in the first quarter. The Depaul Blue Demons are up 4-2 here on FlowHoops.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Las Vegas, Nevada. Early on here in the first quarter, matchup between the Depaul Blue Demons, number 21st ranked team in the country, against the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Florida Gulf Coast had to call a timeout. Full court pressure by Depaul forces a whistle. Last touch by the Blue Demons. Florida Gulf Coast will try it again. If you just joined us, both teams shooting combined 3 for 3 on the day. Florida Gulf Coast finally gets it in. This is Nelson bringing it up the court. Nelson looking to drive. Has to pick up her dribble. At the top of the key. Finally finds someone. That is Julian. Julian trying to backdoor pass. Has to pick up her dribble. They wanted a 5-second call. Doesn't get it. 5 on the shot clock. Nelson looking to drive on the right-hand side. Nelson, high arcing shot is an air ball. Rebound is won momentarily by Depaul, but it's sent back to Florida Gulf Coast as they get the turnover. Shot clock will reset. Florida Gulf Coast offensively on the year, averaging 79.6 points per game. Adderley, once again, Florida Gulf Coast. That's a 5-second call. Great defense by the Blue Demons. And it's the second time early on and second time in the last two possessions. Florida Gulf Coast has had to pick up their dribble, not been able to find anybody in the passing lanes. Blue Demons on the year, their margin of turnovers a +7.8. Backdoor pass momentarily up for grabs. It is taken away by Depaul. They keep possession. Coleman gives it back out to Campbell. Campbell back over to Grays. Grays pass to Millender. 6 on the shot clock. Millender will try a 3, and that is nothing but air. Too far to the right, and out of bounds. Last touch by Depaul. The Eagles, a little bit of trouble offensively, not getting in a rhythm, and also trouble inbounding the ball, as referees will discuss to see if that was if it was last touched by Depaul. It was, so it'll be Florida Gulf Coast ball. 7:46 remaining here in the first period. Blue Demons are up 4-2. Here on Thanksgiving Day. Everyone watching out there, would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Nice pass down in the lane. But Gradigan did not like what she saw, has to give it back out. UL has to pick up her dribble. And on the left-hand side, shot is short. Offensive rebound is taken by Adderley, and Adderley puts it up. She is 2 for 2 on the day. 4 points. Has all of Florida Gulf Coast 4 points. There's a 3 from the left wing by Coleman. Too strong, long defensive rebound. Nope. Adderley's going to let it go out of bounds. Lisa Sterajichku into the game. And China Dow will also check in for the Eagles. Nelson will bring it up the court. Florida Gulf Coast shooting 50%. Both teams 50%, 2 of 4 on the day. Nelson gives it to Dow. Dow on the right wing. 10 on the shot clock. Sterajichku from the right-hand side lays it up and in. And Florida Gulf Coast gets their first lead of the game, 6-4. That is a deep 3. That is an NBA range 3. No good by Allen. And Florida Gulf Coast will look to run. Scoring drought for the Blue Demons, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Nelson. Nice backdoor pass, but that layup attempt too strong. Dow gets the offensive rebound, and she will go to the line to shoot 2 after the foul is called on the Blue Demons. Foul is called on the Blue Demons, number 24, Tanita Allen. China Dow will be at the line, averaging 20 minutes per game. 11 and 5 is her average. Free throw percentage just 42% as she makes it. Hits the and one. 9-4, Florida Gulf Coast on top. A 7-0 run, and we've got a whistle as Campbell is driving on the right-hand side. Foul will be called against the Eagles. Erica Nelson with the foul, first personal. First team foul. 6:10 remaining. The Eagles are on top 9-4. As Nelson will head to the bench. Jessica Katani checks into the game. Here's Campbell. Campbell trying to give it down low to Stonewall. Stonewall back out for Coleman. Coleman with a Euro step. And she's going to get the offensive call. Going in a little bit too strong. Mara Coleman picks up her first personal, second team foul. 9-4 is the score. Florida Gulf Coast, a great defensive team. They're living up to it right now. They've held Depaul to a scoring drought of 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Dow tried a backdoor pass to Katani, and that one went out of bounds. Seven-0 run for the Eagles, 9-4. Coleman. Or Campbell trying to go on the right-hand side. Has to pick up her dribble. They give it down low to Stonewall, and Stonewall will throw it up on the right-hand side off the backboard and in. Stonewall has her first bucket of the game. That ends the scoring drought for the Blue Demons. Blue Demons, as we mentioned, came in averaging 90.8 points per game as that shot attempt is no good. by Julian, and his last touch by Florida Gulf Coast. Possession will go to the Blue Demons. Coleman gives up to Stonewall. Stonewall back to Coleman. Coleman so far 0 for 1 on the day. Millender back out to Campbell. 15 on the shot clock. Campbell trying to get a screen. Gives it back out to Millender. They try to give it down low. A lot of traffic down there, and is taken away by the Eagles. China Dow steals it, and Dow will bring it up the court. Dow picks up her dribble. A long three, and that is good. Lisa Staradichku with the three, a 37% three-point shooter, and Florida Gulf Coast is up 12-6, and another offensive foul called on the Blue Demons. Stonewall picks up the foul. Her first personal. Actually, no, I thought it was an offensive foul. Actually, it's going to be called against China Dow. Nope, it was an offensive foul. It was right the first time. It was on Stonewall. So that's her first personal. Third team foul. Florida Gulf Coast up 12-6. 4:45 remaining here in quarter number 1. The Eagles shooting 50% right now. And there's a turnover taken away by the Blue Demons. They look to run. Down by 6. Campbell driving at the free throw line. Step back jumper is too short, but now another offensive rebound is going to be called against, or offensive foul will be called against Stonewall. She went for the rebound. That's her second personal, 4th team foul. And Stonewall in foul trouble will have to head to the bench. Rachel McLemore will check in the ball game for the Blue Demons. Adderley inbounding the ball. Down on the left-hand side, Staradichku had the ball knocked out. Possession will remain with the the Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast. 22 seconds remaining on the shot clock. A wide open three from the left wing is too strong. Offensive rebound by Julian, and she is fouled on the putback attempt. See who the foul is on. Did not see. Rosemary Julian on the year, a 75% free throw shooter, makes the first. Lauren Procheska got the foul, first personal and 5th team foul. 14-6, Florida Gulf Coast on top. Down in the lane, hooking shot, no good. Rebounded by Florida Gulf Coast momentarily, but it's poked away. Blue Demons keep it. Another opportunity for the Blue Demons, and they send it into the bench for another turnover. Florida Gulf Coast shooting 42% on the day. That's the 4th turnover for Depaul. Staradichku will bring it up the court. She has hit a 3 in this game so far. Florida Gulf Coast playing exceptional defense against the number 21st ranked team in the country. Adderley try to give it down low, has to pick up her dribble. They've had a 5-second call early on. 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. It'll be 7. Last touch by the Blue Demons. For Florida Gulf Coast, a 12-2 run over the last 3 minutes and 25 seconds. For Depaul, 4 turnovers. 3 of them coming in the last minute and 42. They're not taking care of the ball. As Adderley, 5 on the shot clock. Adderley thinks about driving. A contested jumper, and it goes from the right-hand side. Nice shot there. Tatiana Adderley, averaging 6.4 points per game. Quickly come the Blue Demons. That shot is no good. Rebound taken by Florida Gulf Coast. They look to run. They're up by 10. Nelson trying to drive on the right-hand side, has to retreat back out to the top of the key. The Eagles will reset. Nelson will try it again. She had some penetration, but has to pick up her dribble. Needs help. Finally gets it. 10 on the shot clock. Staradichku. Her hooking shot is no good. Rebounded by Graves. Depaul really shooting the ball. Struggling. There's another air ball. That's the second time the Blue Demons have had an air ball on a three. That was by Millender. Millender, a 42% shooter from beyond the arc, and that one just was not pretty. As the whistle will go for Florida Gulf Coast. They are up 16-6. Actually, no, there's a foul. Rachel McLemore. Her first personal, and Florida Gulf Coast is in the bonus. They make the first. Taylor Gradigan, a 50% free throw shooter on the year. She makes both 2 of 2, and it's a 12-point lead for the Eagles. 18-6, 2:41 remaining here in the first. Coleman driving on the right-hand side. Nice move by Coleman. Gets her first bucket of the game. Amara Coleman, a talented player, the number 79th overall player, number 18 point guard in her class by ESPN in 2014. Nelson has to pick up her dribble. Florida Gulf Coast has done that a lot, and the pass to Dow goes right through her hands. Third turnover for the Eagles. 18-8 is the score. It's been all Florida Gulf Coast right now, shooting 43% from the field, just 36% for the Blue Demons. Graves. He's up to Coleman. Coleman back to Campbell. Campbell down low to Graves. Graves, a hooking shot is no good. Rebound taken by Ewell. Ewell thought about driving, will retreat, has to pick up her dribble, bounce pass over to Adderley. Adderley back to Nelson. Once again, Florida Gulf Coast bleeding the shot clock here. 10 remaining. Adderley fires one over. Adderley on the left-hand side, and that's going to be the offensive foul on Florida Gulf Coast for Adderley. That's her first personal. Second team foul. Second team foul. 18-8 is the score. Florida Gulf Coast on top. McLemore looking to drive. There's a three from the right corner by Coleman. Mara Coleman, a great three-point shooter, and that was last touched by Florida Gulf Coast, so some momentum here for the Blue Demons. Coleman on the year, a 50% three-point shooter, and she showed her range there, accuracy. That was a nice shot from the right-hand side. A little step back, arm in the hand raised. Knew that one was going in. She has 5 points, 2 of 3 shooting. Shantae Stonewall back in the game for the Blue Demons. They're down 18-11. There's another step-back jumper by Coleman. This time it is too short. Rebound taken by Florida Gulf Coast, and they look to drive. Under a minute remaining here in quarter number one. China Dow will try a three from the right wing. That one is too short. Rebound is won by Allen. Cross-court pass to McLemore. On the left-hand side, spin move, trying to back down the defender. And we'll give it back out. Blue Demons will reset, 15 on the shot clock. Prochaska hands it off. There's a shot, hits every part of the rim, and Rachel McLemore gets the lucky roll here in Vegas. She's got her first bucket of the game. 18-13, Florida Gulf Coast on top. They will hold for the final shot as the shot clock is off. Staradichku. Gives it back out. Here's Dow. Dow, nice, strong, aggressive move on the right-hand side, and that will be the end of the first quarter here at the Mandalay Bay Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Florida Gulf Coast is on top, 20-13 here on FloHoops.com.
Florida Gulf Coast 20.
Vegas, Nevada. And we start out the second quarter, a traveling violation by China Dow. 6 turnover for Florida Gulf Coast. Good first quarter for the Eagles. The Blue Demons struggling a bit. They've been out-rebounded by 8, 13-5, giving up 5 offensive rebounds to just 1. Campbell. 2 points so far, 1 of 2 shooting. They try to give it down low to Millender. Millender, too aggressive on that one. Another offensive foul for the Blue Demons. Ashton Millender picks up her first personal. First team foul. Ashton Millender averaging 20 points per game, 29.8 minutes per game, 50% from the field, 42% from 3, but she is 0 for 2 right now. Oh, nice offensive move there, but it's going to be wasted. Dribbling violation by the Eagles. Gradigan got down low, but took one too many dribbles. An awkward looking sequence there. The Blue Demons will try to capitalize. Down by 7. There's a deep 3, and that one goes down. Martez Graves hits her first 3 of the game. 2 of 4, 5 points now for Graves. And she's cut the deficit down to 4, 20-16 here. Dow. Try to give it down low, has to pick up her dribble. She's got to find someone. Multiple times, Florida Gulf Coast has picked up their dribble and has just been stagnant. They've had a 5-second violation. Dow, 5 on the shot clock. Dow, step back 3. That one too strong. Rebound is taken away by Allen. Campbell gives it down low to Graves. Graves back out for Millender. There's a 3 from the left-hand side. That one is way short. Offensive rebound taken by the Blue Demons, and China Dow steals it away. She looks to drive, but then realizes she's at a disadvantage 3-on-1 and waits for her teammates to return. Down low pass for Adderley. Adderley spinning around. That one is too strong, but she gets the offensive rebound. Shot clock will reset. Adderley gives it back out to Dow. Staradichku. Wide open lane on the right-hand side, and it rolls out too strong, but another offensive rebound for Florida Gulf Coast. Dow keeps it. That is a deep 3 from the left-hand side, and that is an air ball, but it once again is saved. 3 straight offensive rebounds for the Eagles. Dow gets a person in the air. Has the foul on the layup attempt, and a terrible sequence there for the Blue Demons. Offensive rebound after offensive rebound, not boxing out. And we're going to have a big platoon swap between both teams. Dow at the line, 3 points, 1 of 4 shooting, 1 of 1 on the day. For the Gulf Coast, 5 of 5 from the line. Make that 6 of 6. So they stretch their lead out to 5. Shante Stonewall back in the game for the Blue Demons. Big swap. Just a moment of stalling here. 21-16 Dow. Hits the second free throw. And it's now 22-16. Florida Gulf Coast on top of the Blue Demons. Campbell, guarded by Dow. Campbell tried to drive, and Dow steals it away. Nice play by China Dow. Dow racing on the right-hand side, bounce pass, and it's going to be out of bounds off the hands of number 32, Rosemary Julian, the 5'11 senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Nice play there by China Dow, able to get the steal, but the bounce pass results in another turnover. Both teams combined 14 turnovers, 8 for Florida Gulf Coast, 6 for Depaul. Coleman looking to drive, a lot of traffic. That shot is too strong. Rebound taken by the Eagles. Gradigan picked up that last defensive rebound, and she will look to extend their lead, 22-16. Julian finds Ewell. Ewell looking to drive. Ooh, nice crossover move there, but the shot not close on that one. Prochaska gets the rebound. There's a deep trailing three, short. Depaul not shooting the ball well from beyond the arc. And a foul will be called underneath after an offensive rebound by the Blue Demons. Coleman will be at the line. Mara Coleman averaging 14 and 5 on the year. A 64% free throw shooter makes the first free throw attempts of the day for the Blue Demons. With 0 for their last 4. No field goals in the last 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Last foul was on Taylor Gradigan. As that free throw is missed. Long cross-court pass. Kick it back out. Gradigan will try a three. That one is too strong. Rebounded by Campbell. Campbell give it up to Coleman. Coleman looking to drive. Is stopped. Campbell thought about a three, but wisely passes it off. There's a three from the right wing, and we're going to get a blocking foul. Coleman able to track down her offensive rebound after the short three, and she draws the foul. Erica Nelson picks up the foul. First personal, second team foul. Both teams 2 fouls in the quarter. 22-17, Florida Gulf Coast on top of the 21st ranked team in the country, the Depaul Blue Demons. Prochaska gives up to Millender. Millender back to Coleman. Coleman trying to give it down low to Grays. Finally does. 15 on the shot clock. Grays is going to draw the blocking foul. Foul is on the Eagles, Alyssa Blair, a freshman from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. China Dow will check in for Blair. Quick rest for Dow. Depaul 0 of 5 on their last field goal attempts. Their scoring drought, 3 minutes, or no field goals in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Their largest lead was just 2. Largest lead for Florida Gulf Coast at 12. Prochaska looking to drive, picks up a dribble. Prochaska once again gets penetration. There's a three. That one is short. A lot of short shots here for the Blue Demons. That was Allen on the last three-point attempt. She's now 0 for 3 on the day, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. There's a trailing three from the right wing. In and out, no good. Good look there for Julian. Just did not fall. Coleman. Nice backdoor bounce pass, and that one in. Allen. Tanita Allen makes up for the last three-point shot, gets the bucket, but there's a quick three from the left corner by Julian. That one doesn't go. Cross-court pass to Grays, and she puts it in. Good sequence here for the Blue Demons. They've got it within one, 22-21. Florida Gulf Coast, their scoring drought, now 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Grays on the day, 7 points, 3 of 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. Gradigan gives it to Ewell, and we have a lot of contact, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Nelson. Erica Nelson threw down her defender. That's her third personal. In foul trouble is Nelson. As we have a media timeout, 4:48 remaining here in quarter number 2 at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Florida Gulf Coast leads 22-21 here on FlowHoops.com.
You in?
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh, no. Not again.
Ooh, how much for that one? That's the new coupe model with poodle accents. Today, they're on sale.
The technology may have changed, but at Finley Toyota, it's all about the customer experience.
Excuse me, John? I was wondering if you could take a look at my trade.
I'd love to. What are we looking at?
And it still has the poodle accents.
I'm John Barr, and I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Comprehensive. More than a name. Our approach to treating you. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Mandalay Bay Event Center, the Play 4K Showcase here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Florida Gulf Coast, the Eagles are up 22-21 on the 21st ranked team in the country by USA Today. But Florida Gulf Coast right now has a scoring drought about 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Blue Demons break last couple possessions to cut away at that deficit that they've had. The largest was 12. That was with 2:41 remaining in the first. After the offensive foul by the Eagles, the Blue Demons will look for their first lead since the 9:42 mark in period number 1. Coleman, 6 points so far, 2 of 6 shooting. McLemore checks into the ball game. She's picked up by Dow. Back over to Grays. Martine Grays, 7 points, 3 of 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3. Back down low to Grays. Grays double teamed and going to get bailed out by the foul call. Head coach Carl Semesco does not like the call. 15 foul for Florida Gulf Coast as Grays will head to the line. 83% free throw shooter on the year, makes the first. Last foul was on China Dow. That's her first personal. Grays last year missed all of the 2016-17 season with an Achilles tear. She has come back strong as she makes the second. 16.5 points per game, 4.3 rebounds. And a great effort for a nationally ranked Depaul team that was picked to finish second in the Big East. As there's a drive down the left-hand side. Foul before the whistle is going to be on McLemore. Rachel McLemore picks up her second personal. Third team foul. As Tanita Allen will check back into the ball game for McLemore. (23-22). Depaul on top. They've erased a 12-point deficit. There's a bad pass. China Dow is able to keep it in play. Takes away from Coleman. On the left-hand side. Nice head fake. Nice move to seize. Parted there for Julian. Love the pump fake there, and she was able to capitalize. Rosemary Julian now has 4 points. 1 of 5 shooting. Coleman gives it down low to Grays, and she puts it in. Marte Grays now has 11 points. Leads all scores, 4 of 6 shooting. And DePaul back on top, 25-24. Down low pass by Dow. Gives it to Adderley. Adderley has to retreat. Hands it off. Ooh, nice reverse layup. Looked good, but it hit the rim. Bounced off there for Staradichku. Loved the move, but just did not get the execution. Grays will try it again, and she is starting to heat up for the Blue Demons. 13 points now for the junior from Detroit, Michigan. Largest lead for the Blue Demons, and they have a chance to increase that with another turnover by Florida Gulf Coast. China Dow traveled on that one. That is the 10th turnover on the day for the Eagles. 6 for the Blue Demons. Right now, Florida Gulf Coast, they started off strong shooting. Now just 31%. Blue Demons, 42%. Both teams not shooting the ball particularly well from 3. 1 of 8 for Florida Gulf Coast. 2 of 9 for the Blue Demons. Florida Gulf Coast came in shooting 38% from 3. While the Blue Demons were at 35.1. Both of them make around 13 threes a game. Coleman gives it to Campbell. Campbell quiet so far. 2 points, 1 of 3 shooting. Allen trying on the left-hand side. It was last touched by Florida Gulf Coast. Shot clock will reset. The Blue Demons will have another opportunity here. They are 4 of their last 5 field goal attempts. As Grays heads to the bench. Coleman waits momentarily, gives it to Campbell. Campbell thought about a 3, gives it back to Coleman. Coleman, head fake, pump fake on the right-hand side. Her shot is an air ball, but you can say it's a pass to Stonewall as she puts it back in, just like the Blue Demons drew it up. They're now up by 5 as ball was last touched by the Blue Demons on the inbounds. Their full court press has caused a little bit of problems for the Eagles. Nice job there by Stonewall, able to finish it. He has 4 points, a perfect 2 of 2 shooting. 2:45 remaining here in quarter number 2. It is a 13-2 run for the Blue Demons. 5 of their last 7 shooting. Florida Gulf Coast, a great defensive team. Holds opponents to just 57.6 points per game, while the Blue Demons average 98.8. Gradigan, head fake, has to pick up her dribble, trying to find someone open. She's in no man's land right now, finds Adderley, 10 on the shot clock. Adderley looking to drive on the right-hand side, and that layup attempt goes for Adderley. She now has 8. At least Florida Gulf Coast in that department. Coleman, nice spin move, but the shot is an air ball. Rebound is taken by Julian, who's in trouble, throwing the elbows around. Needs some help from her teammates. She's able to break it. And she's going to, thought it was going to be a traveling violation, and Allen will throw up her hands, saying she stopped and ran into me. Tanita Allen, that is her second personal. 4th team foul. Staradichku, trying to drive on the right-hand side, is stopped, has to retreat back out, gives it to Adderley. Adderley gives it to Katani. Katani, pump fake, back out to Adderley. 8 on the shot clock. Florida Gulf Coast has to get something going here. Adderley driving, and that one is rejected. Adderley gets the deflection, puts it back up, and that one is short. And DePaul trying to go coast to coast here. Foul will be called in the drive, on the drive, in the lane. 2 shots will go to Lauren Prochaska. We'll wait to see who the foul is on. Lisa Staradichka. It's the foul. First free throw attempt is good by Prochaska. This is their first free throw attempts on the 2017-18 season. Prochaska started 22 games last year for the Blue Demons. 4.2 points per game. Prochaska makes the second. And it's now 31-26. Depaul on top of Florida Gulf Coast. Staradichku is Julian. Julian on the left-hand side trying to drive, and Julian, another nice finish for Rosemary Julian. 6 points now. A minute remaining here in quarter number 2. Depaul is up 31-28. Grays. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line is good. Marte Grays, 15 points, and it's just been a sensational player, but on that play, makes a little bit of a mistake as that foul is about 60 feet away from the bucket. The foul is on Grays. That's her first personal. Both teams are in the bonus. Staradichku at the line where she is a 71% free throw shooter. Florida Gulf Coast 7 of 7 on the day so far, and the announcer's curse strikes yet again. Now 7 of 8. Second free throw attempt, in and out, no good. So an empty attempt there for the Eagles, trailing by 5, 40 seconds remaining. Coleman driving, gives it back out to Campbell. Campbell back over to Coleman. Prochaska wide open, 3 is too strong, and the rebound fought for, last touch off the knee of Campbell. And with 29.6 seconds remaining, Florida Gulf Coast can hold for the final shot here in quarter number 2. Florida Gulf Coast shooting 34%, Blue Demons 41%. Whoa. Has to pick up her dribble. Finds Staradichku. Ten remaining. Staradichku gives it to Julian. Julian driving on the left-hand side, and ooh, that was kind of a gimme foul. Looked like Julian lost control of the ball. Graves will pick up a foul, and that's a frustrating foul with 5.9 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Gives her 2 now. Julian at the line where she's 2 of 2 on the day. Rosemary Julian, a 75% free throw shooter, makes the first. She was projected to be the 2017-18 preseason ASUN Player of the Year. Currently averaging 11 and 5 on the year. Second free throw attempt is good. 2 seconds remaining. Coleman dribbles it off her foot, no shot. And that will be the end of the first half here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Play for K Showcase, the first game between the Depaul Blue Demons and Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Blue Demons are up top 33-30 here on FlowHoops.com.
There are places here that defy the senses, daring you to believe the impossible. There can't be so much sky or so many stars. Even once you see it in person, you may still doubt it's real. Sometimes we wonder ourselves. Plan your unreal Arizona getaway at visitarizona.com.
From chaos, order, through clinical research. It's not a mystery. It's medicine. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
Don't miss the Runnin' Rebels on the Strip presented by Findlay Toyota. The action tips with the MGM Resort's main event on November 20th and 22nd at the T-Mobile Arena featuring UNLV, Rice, Utah, and Ole Miss. The Runnin' Rebels invade the MGM Grand Garden for games versus Oral Roberts on December 5th and Illinois on December 9th, benefiting the Coaches versus Cancer. Get all 4 games at one discounted price or each game by itself. Visit runninrebelsonthestrip.com and get your tickets now.
Las Vegas is now a hockey town. Don't miss college hockey at T-Mobile Arena when the puck drops for the Ice Vegas Invitational on January 5th and 6th. Boston College battles Michigan Tech, and Arizona State faces Northern Michigan in the opening round on Friday night. Tickets are on sale now at TMobileArena.com. It's college hockey action at the Ice Vegas Invitational January 5th and 6th at T-Mobile Arena. Get your tickets now.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk with the call. Halftime here, the Depaul Blue Demons are on top, 33-30 on Florida Gulf Coast. Some of the halftime stats here for the Blue Demons. Started off sluggish in the first. Wound up getting a great second quarter, 41.2% from the field. Overall, they're shooting 41%. For Florida Gulf Coast, their shooting percentage has gone down. They shot just 23% in the second, 34% overall as a team, 10 of 29 for Florida Gulf Coast, 13 of 32 from the Depaul Blue Demons. Kind of an interesting stat on the three-point line. Both teams shooting a combined 3 for 18, 13% for Florida Gulf Coast, 20% for the Blue Demons. Both of these teams came in averaging around 13 threes made each game, and right now only 3 combined by both. Kind of a surprising stat for the Blue Demons and for the Eagles. Blue Demons averaging 98.8 points per game. Has been a tough go-around so far against a great Florida Gulf Coast defense that gives up 57.6 points per game. Free throw line, 9 of 11 on the day is the Eagles, 82%, 5 of 6 for the Blue Demons, 83%. 10 turnovers for Florida Gulf Coast compared to the 6 for the Blue Demons. Rebounding advantage has trimmed down a little bit. Florida Gulf Coast had a big advantage early on in the game. They only have a 4-point rebounding edge, 22-18, 2 on the offensive glass, 8-6. Martre Graves is the leading scorer for the Blue Demons, and a great first half. Started off a little slow, but it came on strong in the second quarter. 15 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3. She has 3 rebounds, but did pick up a second personal foul with 5 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Hopefully that does not come back to bite her. For the Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast, Rosemary Julian is the leading scorer. She's scored half of her points from the free throw line, 4 of her 8. She has 2 rebounds. For Florida Gulf Coast, started off strong, but Depaul, great couple sequence to get them close. They erased a 12-point deficit. Their largest lead so far has been 5. The largest lead for Florida Gulf Coast has been 12. So that is the halftime stats here at the Mandalay Bay Resort Center for the Play for K Showcase. When we come back, we'll have the second half matchup between Depaul and Florida Gulf Coast. The Blue Demons lead 33-30 here on FloHoops.com.
This is what I can tell you about us. We're a winning team.
We have been succeeding for more than 20 years.
Helping the American Cancer Society in their fight against cancer.
And with you joining the team, we will go even further.
With you, we will save more lives.
We will help more patients on their road to recovery.
Over 15 million survivors prove we're on the path to victory.
We have the courage.
We have the will.
Now we need you on the team.
Come and play for us.
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 Join us at coachesversuscancer.org today.
So, can we count you in?
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh, no. Not again.
That one. That's the new coupe model with poodle accents. Today, they're on sale.
The technology may have changed, but at Finley Toyota, it's all about the customer experience.
Excuse me, John? I was wondering if you could take a look at my trade.
I'd love to. What are we looking at?
And it still has the poodle accents.
I'm John Barr, and I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Comprehensive, more than a name. Our approach to treating you. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
There are places here that defy the senses, daring you to believe the impossible. There can't be so much sky or so many stars. Even once you see it in person, you may still doubt it's real. Sometimes we wonder ourselves. Plan your unreal Arizona getaway at visitarizona.com.
From chaos, order, through clinical research. It's not a mystery. It's medicine. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, there's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
Don't miss the Runnin' Rebels on the Strip presented by Finley Toyota. The action tips with the MGM Resorts main event on November 20th and 22nd at the T-Mobile Arena featuring UNLV, Rice, Utah, and Ole Miss. The Runnin' Rebels invade the MGM Grand Garden for games versus Oral Roberts on December 5th and Illinois on December 9th, benefiting the Coaches versus Cancer. Get all 4 games at one discounted price or each game by itself. Visit runninrebelsonthestrip.com and get your tickets now.
Las Vegas is now a hockey town. Don't miss college hockey at T-Mobile Arena when the puck drops for the Ice Vegas Invitational on January 5th and 6th. Boston College battles Michigan Tech, and Arizona State faces Northern Michigan in the opening round on Friday night. Tickets are on sale now at TMobileArena.com. It's college hockey action at the Ice Vegas Invitational January 5th and 6th at T-Mobile Arena. Get your tickets now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, the Convention Center, the Play for K Showcase, sponsored by the K Yao Cancer Fund. The Blue Demons of Depaul are up 33-30 on Florida Gulf Coast. Second year that the Play for K has been here in Las Vegas. Last year was in the brand new T-Mobile Arena. Last year's champion were the Oregon State Beavers, a Final Four team from years past, a great powerhouse team. And we got some great powerhouse teams in this tournament. Coming up next, you got nationally ranked Ohio State against Memphis. Stanford, a Final Four team, they face off against Kent State. And a good matchup between Gonzaga and Belmont. The start for those games go accordingly: 3 p.m., 5:30, and 8 o'clock. So full slate of action here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Blue Demons are up 33-30. Three ranked teams in this tournament, one of them being the Blue Demons. They're 21st in the USA Today Coaches Poll. Ohio State and Stanford also ranked. So Blue Demons can prevail. They have a great potential matchup against the Buckeyes. For DePaul, leading 33-30. A great program. They're looking for their 16th straight NCAA tournament appearance, and they're also pursuing their 5th consecutive Big East regular season title. They've won 20 or more games in the last 4 years, 14 of the last 15. A great program built by head coach Doug Bruno. They've reached the Sweet 16 last year. That's the farthest they've ever reached, trying to break that hump. They're projected to finish second in the Big East behind Marquette, the Golden Eagles. Are projected to finish first. For Florida Gulf Coast, this is a very experienced team. They've returned 66% of the 71.9 points scored last year. They've had 4 NCAA tournaments, all coming after the 2012 season. They're one of 6 schools to win more than 25 games since the 2010-11 season. And how about this? They're a great three-point shooting team. Made a very relatively new school. They made the Division I level in the 2007-8 season. They made a 3 in 490 of the 491 games in program history. Almost perfect at about 99%. Both these teams very good three-point shooting coming in, but today they're a combined 3 for 18. And some of the shots have not been pretty. A lot of air balls, a lot of clanks off the side of the rim. We'll see what we have in store here. First game of the Play for K Classic, or Showcase, sorry. This tournament follows up the MGM International main event. It was wrapped up last night. On the men's side in the heavyweight bracket, the UNLV Running Rebels beat the Running Utes. They ran them out of the building, winning the heavyweight division and a very nice championship belt. Both teams starting their original 5. Millender, who has had a quiet game so far, 0 for 2. She tried a bounce pass. There's a whistle, and I believe, did not see the call. Might have been a kickball violation. Graves gives it into Allen. Allen so far 2 points, 1 of 5 shooting. Coleman. Pass is intercepted by Julian. Julian will race down on the left-hand side, and her layup attempt is no good, but Adderley comes crashing the boards, gets the offensive board. Nice play there. Ewell thought about a 3. She's driving on the right-hand side, and that one is rejected by Coleman. We've got players down on the floor, and a foul will be called. Rosemary Julian picks up the foul. First personal, first team foul. Millender is up to Grays. Grays on the day, 15.6 of 8 shooting. Millender, down low pass from Coleman, and for Ashton Millender, not a great game so far. No points, 0 of 2 shooting. She's got 2 rebounds and 2 turnovers to her 1 assist. China Dow checks in the ball game. Dow is given great minutes off the bench for the Eagles. $18 turnovers combined by both teams. 10-4. Actually, we've got a switch on the foul call. Adderley is going to pick up the foul for Florida Gulf Coast instead of Julian. In the first minute, still 33-30. Same score at halftime. Julian driving. Nice penetration. Got behind the defense. Lays it up and in on the left-hand side. And Julian showing some flashes in her drives today. Really impressive. 10 points now. Leading scorer for the Eagles. Shot by Grays. Out. Rebound taken by Florida Gulf Coast. They look to run and try to retake the lead. Ewell. Head fake down on the right-hand side. She's got the bucket and the foul. Nazarene Ewell. Beautiful head fake, pump fake. Got it on the right-hand side. Ewell, a 57% free throw shooter on the year. Averaging 16.2 points per game. She's shooting 59% from 3, 19 of 32 last year. She shot 34% as she can't convert the and one. Florida Gulf Coast lead at 1, their first lead here in the second half. Allen gives it back up to Campbell. Campbell to Prochaska. There's a 3, and there is Millender, a 42% three-point shooter, and she hits it there on the left wing as the C's part open for Nelson, and she converts. Miscommunication by the Blue Demons, and we're back tied 36 as Allen had an easy lane there. A three-point attempt by Allen is short. As we have a whistle, last touched by Florida Gulf Coast. Nope, last touch by the Blue Demons. Blue Demons press so much, none of them head back over the half-court line after a turnover. There is a long cross-court pass, Matthew Stafford-like, as Julian had to look over her shoulder. Dow, picked up by Grays. Dow trying to drive, nice move. A lot of contact, late whistle. Didn't think she was going to get the foul, saw the contact. It's on Grays, and now she has 3 personal. Marte Grays, who picked up that second foul with 5 seconds remaining in the first half. And that one's going to come back to bite her. She's going to have to go to the bench. China Dow at the line makes the first. Dow on the day, 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. 10 of 13 as a team for Florida Gulf Coast as they retake the lead. Florida Gulf Coast coming out strong to start the second half. 3 of 3 from the field. Dow makes the second. Grays will stay on the court. Coleman trying to drive, picked up by Dow. Gives it down low to Grays. Grays shot from the right-hand side, too strong. Rebound taken by Dow. Dow trying to go coast to coast, and too much on that one. Put her shoulder in that. Got the offensive foul, her second personal. Dow tried to go coast to coast. Good charge take there by, I believe that was Coleman. Third team foul. 7:24 remaining here in the third. Florida Gulf Coast is up on top, 38-36. Back and forth game. The largest lead was by the Eagles. That was 12. That came with 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Blue Demons were able to chip away, and we've been back and forth since. Allen, Prochaska. Not a good pass, and that is going to be an over the back. Ninth turnover for the Blue Demons as frustration starting to set in. Prochaska fired that pass into the backcourt, will head to the bench as Campbell will come on in. So will Lisa Staradichku. Adderley also in for the Eagles. She will inbound the ball. Finds Ewell. Ewell picks up her dribble, trying to find Dow, and not a good pass. Tried the bounce pass, and Stonewall poked it away. Here's Coleman. Coleman on the right-hand side. A lot of contact on her pass to Stonewall, and Stonewall finishes. Stonewall now has 6 points. 38-38 is the score. 3 of 4 shooting for Stonewall. Stardichku lost her dribble momentarily. Finds Adderley. Ewell, 10 on the shot clock. Ewell driving on the left-hand side. Whistle is called, and Ewell will head to the line. Shoot a free throw. Ashton Millender picks up the foul. Second personal. Third team foul. Nazrin Ewell at the line. 57%. And she misses that one. Now 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. Only 4 threes combined by both teams, as the second one is good. Florida Gulf Coast retakes the lead. 4 threes by both teams when they combine, coming in, making 26. Campbell gives it to Allen. Allen back over to Campbell. Campbell picks up her dribble, finds Stonewall. Stonewall back to Campbell. Almost another backcourt violation for the Blue Demons. 5 on the shot clock. Campbell picks up her dribble, has to give it to Allen. Allen fires a desperation 3 and drains it. Tanita Allen, a 34% three-point shooter, drains that one as China Dow answers right back with the and one. And Dow in double-digit figures, 11 points, 3 of 6 shooting. Stonewall picks up the foul. Third personal. Fourth team foul. So back and forth we go. Tanita Allen hits a 3. And then China Dow races down the court, puts one up, gets the foul as Graves will check in for Stonewall. Dow's first free throw attempt is no good. Before that, she was a perfect 5 for 5. Once again, we are tied at 41. Campbell gives it to Coleman. Coleman down low to Graves. Graves trying to go to the right-hand side. Difficult shot. Almost went in. Offensive rebound taken by Allen, and then Allen is fouled on the shot. She will go to the line after the ball was tipped back out to Allen off of the Graves miss. Tatiana Adderley picks up the foul. Third personal. Third team foul. That free throw in and out, no good by Allen. Allen on the year, 75% free throw shooter. She was the 2016-17 Big East Sixth Woman Award and was named to the preseason All Big East team. She's averaging 12 and 6 on the year. Allen's next free throw attempt is good. 6 of 8 for the Blue Demons. They retake the lead 42-41. Florida Gulf Coast. Their last 4 field goal attempts, made all 4. Here's Nelson. Nelson ends that streak as that is a wild shot there. Didn't hit the rim. Millender. Just 3 points so far. Gives it to Campbell. Campbell. It's a pick from Graves. They try to give it to Graves, but they give it back to Millender. Now down low to Graves. Graves has an open lane on the left-hand side, but doesn't finish. Gets the offensive rebound this time. She does. She has 17 points. Leading all scorers in this game. And Depaul now up by 3 and a 5-second violation. And the momentum switching over to the 21st ranked team in the country. And we have a timeout on the court. The Blue Demons up 44-41 here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center here on flowhoops.com.
This is what I can tell you about us. We're a winning team.
We have been succeeding for more than 20 years.
Helping the American Cancer Society in their fight against cancer.
And with you joining the team, we will go even further.
With you, we will save more lives.
We will help more patients on their road to recovery.
Over 15 million survivors prove we're on the path to victory.
We have the courage.
We have the will.
Now we need you on the team.
Come and play for us.
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 Join us at coachesversuscancer.org today.
So, can we count you in?
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
Ooh, how much for that one? That's the new coupe model with poodle accents. Today they're on sale.
The technology may have changed, but at Finley Toyota, it's all about the customer experience.
Excuse me, John? I was wondering if you could take a look at my trade.
I'd love to. What are we looking at?
And it still has the poodle accents.
I'm John Barr, and I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Comprehensive, more than a name. Our approach to treating you. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Las Vegas, Nevada. The Blue Demons, the 21st ranked team in the country by the USA Today Coaches Poll. On top 44-41 on Florida Gulf Coast. Blue Demons coming into this game 3-1 on the year. The Eagles 5-0. Off the inbound pass, Allen lays it up and in, and Allen now has 8 points. Hit a big three moments ago. Largest lead in the second half for the Blue Demons, 46-41. Nelson, man-to-man defense here by the Blue Demons. Adderley, 10 on the shot clock. Not a good sequence here offensively for the Eagles, and it's going to be a foul. I believe it's going to be, it's on the Blue Demons. It's on Coleman. That's her third personal. 15 foul. Adderley at the line makes her first free throw of the game. Lauren Prochaska checks into the game for the Blue Demons. 46-42. As Florida Gulf Coast is in the bonus, as that free throw attempt is no good by Adderley. She goes 1 for 2. 13 of 19 for Florida Gulf Coast. 68% on the day. Grays hands it back off to Campbell. Campbell on the right-hand side. A lot of contact. Almost got it to go, but draws the blocking foul, and Campbell will head to the line. Shoot a couple free throws. Lisa Staradichku with the foul. That is her second personal. Team's fourth. As Campbell makes the first. Kelly Campbell on the year, 76% on the year, averaging 31.5 minutes per game, 10.8 points per game, 6.3 rebounds. Her 25 assists, that leads the team coming into this game, as Campbell makes both. 47-42. Jessica Katani in the ball game again for Florida Gulf Coast. She gives a nice pass, but unable to finish Estero Ditchku, and she takes it away and puts it in. Nice play there by Lisa Staradichku. She got a good feed, didn't finish, took the ball away from the Depaul defender on the rebound and lays it in as that ball is tipped And a turnover by Depaul. Grays tried to give it down low. Adderley took it away, put her hands up. Staradichku, spin move, trying to go through the spin cycle, and that ball is short by about a couple feet. Nice play there by Julian. Millender was trying to get the lead pass. If she was able to get it, she was free for the layup, but Julian able to take away the ball, and that one a nice bounce pass. Adderley all alone. She has 11 points, 5 of 7 shooting, 48-46. Depaul on top. Gray step back jumper from about 12 feet out, hits the rim, no good. Rebound by Dow, and Dow will bring it up the court. Dow with a full head of steam. Try to go coast to coast. Gives it to Julian. Julian thought about a corner three, but Florida Gulf Coast will reset. Ball, 3 turnovers in the last minute and 15 seconds. They've been sloppy with the ball. And that is a beautiful move. Julian, once again, Julian has had an open lane. Rosemary Julian has 12, and we're tied yet again, 48. That is a deep 3 by Campbell, but the offensive rebound, log offensive rebound for Millender. And Millender has an open lane. Open lanes for everyone, as both coaches got to be frustrated on that. Millender able to finish after getting the offensive rebound. She has 5. And quiet so far, 2 of 4 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3. China Dow slides her feet and will get the foul. Allen picks up her 3rd personal. Florida Gulf Coast is in the bonus. China Dow on the day, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. 11 points, 3 of 6 shooting, 5 rebounds. Has 2 steals, but an eye-opening 6 turnovers. 6 of the 13 turnovers for Florida Gulf Coast. She makes the first, makes it a 1-point game as we have a whole cell of changes. Nelson Ewell check in for Florida Gulf Coast. So does Taylor Gradigan. Second free throw by Dow is good, and yet again we are tied at 50. Prochaska back into the game. She gives it up to Allen. Allen throws it to Ewell, and Allen trying her best to keep it in play, and the ball goes to Ewell. Ewell gives it up to Nelson. Good play defensively by Florida Gulf Coast. Nelson trying to drive on the right-hand side, throws it up, and the Eagles retake the lead, 52-50. Prochaska gives it to Allen. Allen will try a 3. That one is short, rebounded by Gradigan. 4 turnovers in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the Blue Demons. Dow looking to drive on the right-hand side. Is in trouble. Now she'll shoot it. What a spin move there by China Dow. She wanted to pass it out. It was blocked away. Then hit the spin cycle, lays it up and in. Prochaska trying to drive, and a foul will be called. I believe it's going to be on Nelson, but China Dow now has 15 points, 4 of 7 shooting. It's actually going to be on Dow. That's her 3rd personal. 15 foul. Both teams are in the bonus here with 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. It is a 12-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 35 seconds for Florida Gulf Coast. They've hit their last 4 shots. And a big part, Depaul, 4 turnovers in the last 3 minutes of play as Prochaska hits the free throw. Prochaska on the day, now 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. And Florida Gulf Coast lead cut down to 2. Full court pressure by the Blue Demons. Nelson picked up by Coleman. Nelson on the day, 4 points, 2 of 5 shooting. And Nelson, nice pass. Great offensive sequence by Florida Gulf Coast. If they've had open lanes, open layups for most of this second half. Stonewall calling for the ball. It is intercepted by Gradigan. Coleman with the turnover. Nelson will bring it up the court. Katani had that last assist on the Nelson make. I want to give her credit for a beautifully placed ball. Nice pass. China Dow thought about a 3 at the top of the key. Dow has the confidence. He's playing with it today. 5 on the shot clock. Ewell Driving on the left-hand side, a lot of contact off the backboard and in, and Florida Gulf Coast on fire right now. 6 of their last 6. 58-52, a 6-point lead, their largest in the second half. Shot clock is off. Depaul can hold for the last shot. Allen. Picked up by Dow. Let's get picked from Stonewall. Allen. Driving. Head fake in the lane on the left-hand side. No good. Nelson picks it up. 3 seconds remaining. Nelson. Cross-court pass to Katani. It went out of bounds, and that will end period number 3 in a great third period for the Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast. They finished 6 of their last 6 from the field. They hold a 6-point lead, 58-52 here on FlowHoops.com.
Comprehensive, more than a name. Our approach to treating you. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
This is what I can tell you about us. We're a winning team.
We have been succeeding for more than 20 years.
Helping the American Cancer Society in their fight against cancer.
And with you joining the team, we will go even further.
With you, we will save more lives.
We will help more patients on their road to recovery.
Over 15 million survivors prove we're on the path to victory.
We have the courage.
We have the will.
Now we need you on the team.
Come and play for us.
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 Join us at coachesversuscancer.org today.
So, can we count you in?
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
Ooh, how much?
Back here live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Quarter number 4 here at the Play for K Showcase here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Florida Gulf Coast is up 58-52, and what a great third quarter for the Eagles. They shot 11 of 16 from the field, 68%. Ball didn't shoot too bad, 6 of 15, 40%. A lot of turnovers and a lot of easy baskets for the Eagles. They didn't attempt a 3. They make about 13 threes a game. They didn't have to because the lanes were so wide open. Julian has been able to exploit the Depaul defense multiple times today. She's driving on the left-hand side. This one's going to be a little tough. Graves rejects it. She's able to keep it in play. Nice catch there by Uel. Uel will now drive, and that one off the backboard. Didn't hit the rim. Too strong. And the Blue Demons will bring up the court, trying to erase this 6-point deficit. Allen. Is that the Malcolmore? Checks in. Campbell. So far, 4 points, 1 of 4 shooting. Graves and quiet here in the second half. She sends a pass that is tipped up in the air, and another turnover for the Blue Demons. Uel trying to her best Euro step. It's poked away, but Julian able to keep it in play, and Florida Gulf Coast will reset with 15 on the shot clock. And we've got a whistle. Foul is going to be called against Graves, and that's a big one. That's her 4th personal. Marte Graves, she's just joining us, picked up her 2nd foul with 5.6 seconds remaining in the second. There's a big foul now. Right now she'd be at 3, now with 4, with 9 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Their leading scorer on the game has to head to the bench. Katani finds Julian in the corner. Julian head fake, driving in the lane. Julian, nice move to get a shot attempt, but the shot was short, hit the side of the rim. There's a 3 from the right wing. That one is no good. Allen gets the rebound, offensive rebound, and she will get the foul off the shot. We'll head to the line to shoot 2. Rosemary Julian picks up her 1st personal. 1st team foul. Danita Allen at the line. where she's 1 of 2 on the day. Makes her second. 58-53 Florida Gulf Coast. As Lisa Stardichka will check back into the game for Florida Gulf Coast. China Dow and Adderley also check in for Florida Gulf Coast. Allen, a 75% free throw shooter, knocks her second. 58-54. Allen now has 10 points, 3 of 10 shooting. There's a 3 from the left wing. Skims across the rim, but an offensive rebound taken by Adderley. Gradigan shot that last one, looked good, but just skimmed across the rim. Adderley gives up to Gradigan, 15 on the shot clock. Here's Julian. Julian to Dow. Dow tried to cross over, but hit it off her foot. 3 seconds remaining. Florida Gulf Coast got to get a shot off, and they do, and the bucket. Lisa Staradichku with the and one. Beautiful shot there, and Florida Gulf Coast right now, everything working their way. Staradichka hits the and one. Staradichka on the day, 10 points, 4 of 11 shooting. 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. 61-54, Coleman trying to drive on the right-hand side, just checked in. She dribbles it off her foot. No foul called on the contact, and another turnover for the Blue Demons. That's their 16th as a team. 61-54. Blue Demons 3-1 on the year. Florida Gulf Coast 5-0. Their second best start behind the 2010-11 season when they started 14-0. Both teams made the NCAA tournament last year. China Dow, nice head fake, a lot of contact, and Dow will head to the line to shoot 2 free throws. McLemore will be called for the foul. That's a mere 3rd personal. And China Dow, coming off the bench, has proven a spark for the Eagles. 15 points, 4 of 7 shooting, but 7 of 8 from the charity stripe. Makes the first, 62-54. China Dow was the ASUN All-Tournament MVP last year and made the All-Tournament team. Transfer from Middle Tennessee State, knocks down both. 63-54, largest lead of the second half for the Eagles. Coleman, not about driving, retreats back out. Gives that one up to Allen. Allen, leading scorer on the floor right now for the Blue Demons, as Coleman, lot of space on the right-hand side, got by the defender, and Coleman has her 3rd bucket of the game. Full court press here by the Depaul Blue Demons as Dow sends a pass. It was a dangerous pass, but Adderley is able to keep it with the Eagles. Staradichku looking to drive, has to pick up her dribble, and there's going to be a traveling violation. .14 turnover for the Eagles, as Lauren Prochaska back in the ballgame. She checks in for McLemore. 6:59 remaining. Prochaska, 16 minutes off the bench, 4 points all coming from the free throw line. Allen gives it back over to Prochaska. Prochaska thought about driving. Back up to Millinder. Campbell thought about a 3. 8 seconds remaining. Campbell picks up her dribble, finds Millinder. Millinder, a 3 from the top of the key. No good. Offensive rebound by the Blue Demons. Allen back out to Prochaska. Her 3, no good. And a strong defensive rebound there by Adderley. Adderley trying to drive on the right-hand side. Millinder met her. Ball was knocked loose. Last touch by Millinder. And the ball remained with the Eagles. 63-56. Blue Demons shooting just 22%, 4 of 18 from 3, and Oh, how that was not a turnover. Florida Gulf Coast has to count their lucky stars as Julian was not paying attention, but Gradigan able to pick it up. 7 on the shot clock. Julian picks up her dribble. She's got to get something going. Trying to Dow. Dow, pull up 3, and that one, I believe, was blocked. Shot clock violation. Good defensive sequence there for the Blue Demons, who trail by 7 with 5:56 remaining here in quarter number 4. Prochaska bring it up the court. Millender all alone. Left corner 3, in and out, no good. Boy, the shots are not falling from beyond the arc for the Blue Demons. Foul is called on the rebound. China Dow picks up the foul. That's her 4th personal. 2nd team foul. Coleman will head to the line. Apparently she's in a shooting motion. Nelson will check in. So will UL. Nazrin UL. And the refs agree that was not a shooting sequence there. Everyone was headed to the free throw line. Depaul will inbound the ball. Allen. He's up to Campbell. Campbell fires a pass down low to Coleman. Coleman finishes. Nice strong move there by Coleman, able to get open in the lane. Campbell finds her. And Florida Gulf Coast right now, their lead down to 5. Their scoring drought right now, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They're starting to cool off a little bit after a red-hot 3rd quarter. Adderley. 10 on the shot clock. Beautiful pass by Adderley to Nelson. They got behind the defense yet again. Nelson now has 8 points. 4 of 7 shooting from the field in 21 minutes. Campbell behind her back in the lane, gives it to Millender. Millender to Prochaska. Prochaska back over to Campbell. 10 on the shot clock. Campbell will fire a desperation 3. I don't know if that was the best shot selection there. And then Allen will get the foul call about 90 feet away from the bucket. 4:51 remaining here in quarter number 4. Florida Gulf Coast is in control, 65-58 here on FlowHoops.com.
For that one, that's the new coupe model with poodle accents. Today, they're on sale.
The technology may have changed, but at Finley Toyota, it's all about the customer experience.
Excuse me, John? I was wondering if you could take a look at my trade.
I'd love to. What are we looking at?
And it still has the poodle accents.
I'm John Barr, and I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Comprehensive. More than a name. Our approach to treating you. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
Back here live at Las Vegas, Nevada. 4:51 remaining here in quarter number 4. Florida Gulf Coast is on top of the 21st ranked team in the USA Today coaches poll. The Depaul Blue Demons 65-58. Depaul led at halftime 33-30, but a red hot 3rd quarter by Florida Gulf Coast. 11 of 16. None of those shots. They didn't shoot the ball at all from the 3-point line. All of it came from the field, 2-point, and all layups. Florida Gulf Coast has really gotten behind the Depaul defense today with their drives or their pick and rolls. Currently right now in the 4th, both teams shooting kind of a miserable 28.6, 2 of 7. Depaul 0 of 5 from 3. They're trying to get that 3-point shot down, but it's just not going their way. Both teams are perfect from the free throw line in the 4th. 3 of 3 for Florida Gulf Coast, 2 of 2 for the Depaul Blue Demons. Nelson will give it to Adderley. Adderley breaks the press. Adderley gives it to Julian. Nice night for Julian. 12 points, 4 of 11 shooting. Julian Escapes the trap. Nice play momentarily by Campbell to poke the ball away. She almost saved it. If she had maybe a couple more inches in that right corner. But the ball will remain with Florida Gulf Coast. 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Nelson has to retreat. Double team here. Depaul playing aggressively defensively, but good job by Florida Gulf Coast. Keep the ball in play. There's a three by UL. That's no good, and a great rebound by Julian, but the problem is it was an over-the-back call. Rosemary Julian picks up her second personal. Third team foul. Depaul, 14 fouls right now. One more foul, and the Eagles will be in the bonus. Coleman back over to Campbell. Coleman, 10 points so far. We'll try another one. She's got the three, and finally a three goes down for the Blue Demons. A cross-court pass. UL gets behind the defense, but can't hang on to the ball. A big turnover by Florida Gulf Coast. They're 15th, and it's now getting a little interesting here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. 65-61 after the three by Coleman. That was her second three of the game. Fifth as a team for the Blue Demons. Grays has been quiet. Coleman down low, a lot of contact, nothing was called. China Dow and Coleman ran into each other. Would have been a good hit on the football field. The ball will go to Florida Gulf Coast. Lisa Staradichka will check back into the ball game. Nelson breaks the press. Good job by Nelson. She was trapped momentarily. Ball was in the hands of the DePaul defenders. Gradigan will try a three, right corner. This could be a dagger, and it is. Taylor Gradigan hits the second three of the day for the Eagles, but DePaul an open three. Millender, she hits it as Florida Gulf Coast left a wide open Millender, and then she's going to pick up the foul on China Dow. For Millender, that's her third personal. And you see the three by Gradigan. Good passing as the Blue Demons were trying their best to double team, and then miscommunication for Florida Gulf Coast. They left Ashton Millender, who's a 42% three-point shooter on the year. She won't miss that one very often. Florida Gulf Coast is in the bonus. China Dow is at the line. This is her 11th and 12th trip. She's 9 of 10 so far, 90%. 3:18 remaining. Dow makes the first. He's been clutch off the bench. 50% from the field. Over 90% free throw shooting. 5 rebounds, but he is playing in foul trouble. She has 4 fouls. She makes both of her free throws. Extends the lead back to 6. 70-64. Coleman driving. There's Millender back over to Grays. Campbell trying to drive on the right-hand side. Campbell, a lot of contact, and the bucket. With the foul, Campbell will go to the line. Campbell now 2 of 6. Nelson picks up the foul. She's in foul trouble too. 4 personals for her. Nice job there by Campbell, driving on the right-hand side and able to get the contact and finish. Campbell on the day 2 of 2, now 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, and it's now a 1-possession game. 70-67. Florida Gulf Coast on top. Full court pressure. Bounce pass over to Julian. Julian in the corner, and a timeout will be called. Heads up play there by head coach Carl Samesco. When he saw Julian in the corner, and that was going to be a tough play as 3 minutes remaining here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Going through some stat lines here. Florida Gulf Coast is up 70-67. Both teams shooting relatively well from the field. 44% for the Eagles, 41% for the Blue Demons. Both have made 24 field goals, 4 more attempts for the Blue Demons. The three-point shooting has just not been there for both teams. They came in shooting 38% for Florida Gulf Coast and 35% for the Blue Demons. They have made 8 off of 34 attempts, 17% for Florida Gulf Coast, just 27% for the Blue Demons. 2 of 12 for Florida Gulf Coast, 6 of 22 for the Blue Demons. At the free throw line, teams have been solid, 77% for the Eagles, 20 of 26, while the Blue Demons have been stellar as well, 13 of 15, 87%. Been a little sloppy with the ball. They have a combined 31 turnovers by both teams. Blue Demons 16, Florida Gulf Coast 15. And the rebound department, about the same, 35-34. Advantage goes to Depaul. Offensive rebounds, 12-11. Advantage goes to Depaul. So numbers are similar between these teams, and it's been a great back-and-forth action. It looked like Depaul was going to pull away towards the end of the second, start of the third, and then Florida Gulf Coast answered back, then Depaul answers back. It's been a great back-and-forth matchup, highlighted by a couple of threes. Taylor Gradigan had a 3, so did Ashton Millender. This is game 1 of the Play 4K showcase here in the Mandalay Bay Event Center, here at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, here on Thanksgiving Day. If you're watching, wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. China Dow inbounding the ball, gives it up to Nelson, and they find Dow. Dow will bring it over the half-court line, and Dow is going to try to take it all the way. China Dow and the bucket. China Dow. We've seen her do that multiple times today. A strong finish. That is a big bucket for Florida Gulf Coast. Dow now has 21 points, 5 of 9 shooting. Coleman picks up the foul. For Coleman, that's her 4th, and you got 3 players for Depaul in foul trouble as Dow makes the and one, 73-67. Coleman, Stonewall, and Grays both have 4 fouls for the Blue Demons. Campbell is up to Grays. Back over to Stonewall. Stonewall will try to answer with a 3 of her own, and she's got it. Stonewall hits her first 3 of the game. She's 4 of 5, shooting off the bench, 9 points. The 7-3 for the Blue Demons. 73-70. Back and forth we go. Nelson has to pick up her dribble, and I'll have to call a timeout. She had Dow open, but they don't want to risk the turnover. Depaul now shooting 3 of their last 3. 30-second timeout. 1 timeout remaining for the Eagles. 4 timeouts remaining for Depaul. Depaul has been able to force 2 timeouts on their full court pressure. They played really aggressively. Have been able to force 15 turnovers. China Dow coming off the bench, 22 points. Played a magnificent game, averaging 11.4 on the season. And then there's the 3 by Shantae Stonewall. Stonewall came in a very dangerous 50% from 3. She was projected to be the, no, sorry, that she's averaging 10.3 points per game, 5 rebounds. And we have a turnover here by Florida Gulf Coast, and that is a killer turnover. Backcourt violation, the 16th for the Eagles. And Depaul has an opportunity to tie this game. Coleman finds Grays. Trying to find Stonewall down low. She finally gets it to her. Back out to Grays. Grays looking to drive. Grays loses the ball and is stolen away by the Eagles. Sterdichku bringing it up the court. Sterdichku trying to finish and is rejected. Nice block by Florida Gulf Coast, and its last touch by the Eagles. Great defensive play by the Blue Demons. It was Stonewall with the block. That is a game-saving play right there. Millender back over to Campbell. Campbell to Stonewall. Stonewall has a hot hand right now, and she's got it. How did she get that one to go? Shantae Stonewall 11 points, 5 of 6 shooting, and she has a chance to tie this game up at 73 with a minute 47 remaining. Staradichka picks up the foul. That's her third personal, and Stonewall, man, that was unbelievable finish there. Able to get the contact. Kind of a desperation heave. Stonewall on the day. This is her first trip to the charity stripe. Depaul 4 of their last 4 from the field, and that one goes down. Stonewall has 12, and we are tied at 73. A minute 47 seconds remaining. Here in quarter number 4. Blue Demons 3-1 on the year. Florida Gulf Coast 5-0. Nelson gives it to Dow. Dow trying to get by Grays. Dow has to pick up her dribble. Finds Gradigan. 8 on the shot clock. Not a good sequence there, and it's a turnover. Campbell steals it away. Campbell had Grays momentarily, now finds her. A little too late. Coleman trying to give the Blue Demons the lead. Their last lead was 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the third. 15 on the shot clock. Grays. Back over to Campbell. 7 on the shot clock. Grays gives it to Stonewall. Stonewall trying to drive on the right-hand side. Stonewall. That one is going to be short. Rebounded by Gradigan. Under a minute to go. Gradigan has to pick up her dribble and fires it over to Nelson. 73 all. Under a minute remaining. 1 timeout remaining for the Eagles. 4 remaining for the Blue Demons. They're on a 6-0 run. 10 remaining on the shot clock. Dow. He's up to Julian. Julian trying to drive on the left-hand side. Julian got some penetration, and it was last touch by Stonewall as she falls down to the floor a second time in the last minute. Stonewall has fallen hard on the floor. 3.7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 29.7, I believe the officials are going to look at the previous play. Let's see how much time is left. Crucial moment of the game. Florida Gulf Coast and Depaul tied up at 73, back and forth. We have gone. It's been Florida Gulf Coast as of late. They've held the lead since the 2:16 mark of the third quarter after it was an amazing third quarter for Florida Gulf Coast when they shot 11 of 16, as you see on the replay. Julian had good penetration here, as the referees will head over to determine how much time. Right now, the Blue Demons on a 6-0 run. 4 of their last 5 scoring drought for Florida Gulf Coast. 2 minutes. So the winner of this game will face the winner of the Ohio State-Memphis game. Loser will face the loser of the Ohio State-Memphis game. That game scheduled tip time 3 p.m. Ohio State, great nationally ranked team in the top 10. Memphis coming in, struggling a bit, 1-3. Then coming up at the 5:30 game, Stanford versus Kent State, and at 8 o'clock, Gonzaga versus Belmont. All of these times Pacific. And if this game goes to overtime, the times of these games will be pushed back. Leading scorers for both teams, China Dow coming off the bench, 24 minutes, 22 points. An impressive 12 of 13 from the free throw line, 5 of 9 from the field. Martine Grays, 17 points, 7 of 14, 27 minutes. Has been in foul trouble, 4 personal fouls. She's been quiet in this second half. A lot of it has come from the foul trouble. She had to sit with 9 minutes remaining in the fourth after picking up her 4th. And then probably the key play for her on the day was 5 seconds remaining in the second half. She picked up a foul, which was kind of a questionable call, but it went against her. It was her second personal. As referees continually looking at the play. Here at the Play for K. Tournament running from November 23rd to the 25th, as we'll see the final ruling. Possession will remain with the Eagles, but 3.7 seconds remaining. 30.6 seconds will remain on the shot clock. We'll see what, on the game clock, the shot clock will remain the same. So Florida Gulf Coast has to get something off very quick. Here's Julian. Julian, a step back jumper. That one is no good. And rebound is taken by Coleman. And Coleman and the Depaul Blue Demons can hold for the final shot. They'll use one of their 4 timeouts, as this will be a full timeout, so we'll go to a quick commercial break. Late in the fourth quarter, 20.5 seconds remaining. We are all tied up at 73 here on FlowHoops.com. Las Vegas, Nevada, the Play 4K Showcase. We've got a thriller in the first game between Florida Gulf Coast and Depaul. The Blue Demons have the ball. Shot clock is off. They can hold for the final shot of the game and try to win this one to advance on in the winner's bracket. Grays trying to give it down to Coleman. She has to pick up the dribble. Here's Allen. 3 seconds remaining. Allen finds Millender. Millender will try a 3. It is rejected. Great defense by Florida Gulf Coast. And that will be the end of the regulation here in Las Vegas, Nevada, which means we have some free basketball overtime between Florida Gulf Coast and the Depaul Blue Demons, tied up at 73 here on FlowHoops.com.
There are places here that defy the senses, daring you to believe the impossible. There can't be so much sky or so many stars. Even once you see it in person, you may still doubt it's real. Sometimes we wonder ourselves. Plan your unreal Arizona getaway at visitarizona.com.
From chaos, order, through clinical research. It's not a mystery. It's medicine. Comprehensive Cancer Centers of Nevada.
Back here live in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We got some free basketball. The first game of the Play 4K Showcase here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk with the call. Depaul and Florida Gulf Coast tied at 73. Great back and forth matchup between both of these teams. So good, we don't want it to end. As we get ready for the tip, a 5-minute overtime period. Blue Demons win the tip. Campbell will bring it up the court. Millender, who tried that 3 at the end of regulation, but was rejected. Kind of a desperation 3. They give it down low. Nice pass It is Allen. Allen now has 12 points. Gives the Blue Demons the lead. Their first lead since the third quarter. China Dow, she has 4 fouls. Nice pump fake. Nice pass, but Adderley can't finish. She hit the side of the rim. Not good position there by Adderley. Most likely would have tied it. Millender back over to Coleman. Coleman back over to Millender. Open 3 for Millender. That one skims the rim, in and out, no good. Blue Demons just shooting 28% from beyond the arc. 7 of 25. Julian, nice drive. High off the backboard and in. Oh my goodness. Rosemary Julian with an amazing finish with the defender wrapped around her arm. And Julian has an opportunity to give Florida Gulf Coast the lead. We've seen her do it all day today. Her drive and penetration has just been unbelievable. Julian 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Skims out. No good, so remain tied at 75. Campbell got the last foul. That was her first personal. They try to give it down low. A lot of contact in the lane. Try to give it to Grays. I believe the foul is going to be on Adderley. Tatiana Adderley. Her 4th personal. Grays will be at the line, and she misses the first. Grays, before that, was 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. 3:51 remaining. Grays trying to give her team the lead, and she misses both. A frustrating second half for Marte Grays. She had 15 in the first. Just 1 bucket. Still tied at 75. The handoff a little sloppy. Julian able to keep it in play. Gives it to Dow. China Dow, the leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast. Gradijan had a lane, but did not take it. Florida Gulf Coast has to get a shot off. Adderley gets a circus shot off and a shot clock violation. Not a good sequence for Florida Gulf Coast, as Stonewall will check in for Grays. 4 players with 4 personal fouls for the Blue Demons. Coleman, Allen, Grays, and Stonewall. Allen over to Campbell. They give it down low to Millender, and Millender finishes. She's now in double-digit points, 10 points, as she was able to go from right to left, break away from the defense, and Depaul retakes the lead, 77-75. Staradichka gives it to Dow. Dow will try a 3 from the top of the key, and that one didn't hit the rim. To the left of the backboard. Not a beautiful shot there by China Dow. And Depaul will try to extend their lead here in overtime. 2:30 remaining. Allen will try a 3. That one hits the side of the rim. No good. Rebound by Adderley. And Staradichka will bring it up the court. Dow gives it down low to Julian. Julian. What an aggressive move. Beautiful move by Julian. She has been unbelievable, finishing under the rim today. Another layup over Millender. And we're back tied at 77 as Staradichka touched it last. Good defensive effort, but didn't get the result she was looking for, as Nelson will check in for Adderley. Nope. Check that Julian. Actually, no, that timeout will be called, and it's going to be a full timeout. So we'll go to a commercial break. 2:06 remaining here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. The Blue Demons are tied with Florida Gulf Coast 77-all here on FlowHoops.com.
There's life, and then there's Summerlin Life, a premium master plan community lifestyle only found in Las Vegas, with Red Rock Canyon for a backyard and downtown Summerlin's fashion, dining, and entertainment at your doorstep. This award-winning amenity-rich lifestyle has to be lived to be believed. And with dozens of actively selling neighborhoods, There's never been a better time to start living the Summerlin life.
The Mandalay Bay Event Center here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Game 1 of the Play for K. We've got a thriller tied up at 77 in overtime. Under 2 minutes to go. Depaul and Florida Gulf Coast. Allen. Oh, nice moment there. I thought Sterdichka, she read that pass beautifully, kind of like a defensive back in the NFL. Just couldn't get all of her hand on it to get the steal. Possession remain with Depaul with 5 on the shot clock. There's a deep, deep, deep three. Too strong. Rebound by China Dow. Allen with the last shot. Sterdichka bringing it up the court. Florida Gulf Coast shooting 44% from the field. Just 2 threes on the day. 2 of 14. Give it to Dow. Dow, their leading scorer with 22. Dow trying to drive on the right-hand side. Picked up by Millender. Dow finishes. Oh, China Dow has been a force down low today. She has 24, 6 of 11 shooting. Gives the Eagles the lead, 79-77. Allen, minute 10 remaining. Allen gives it to Stonewall. Stonewall has 12 points, and a timeout will be called by Depaul. There's going to be a 30-second timeout. So Florida Gulf Coast regains the lead. Back and forth we've gone. Florida Gulf Coast had the largest lead of the game at 12. That was 4 with 2:41 remaining in the first. Largest lead for the Blue Demons has been 6, but it's just been back and forth as we go. Both teams getting hot and cold. China Dow has been playing exceptionally well off the bench. 29 minutes, 24 points, 6 of 11, 12 of 13, but a lot of it has been her aggressiveness in the paint and with the ball. We've seen her go coast to coast multiple times today. A great player off the bench for head coach Carl Semesco. Have 5 players in double digits for the Blue Demons. Their leading scorer, Marte Grays, not on the court, in foul trouble. 4 Blue Demons have 4 fouls in this game. Allen. Ellender, step back 3. That one is too strong. Offensive rebound is poked up in the air. I thought Coleman was able to palm that one, but a foul is going to be called against the Eagles on the rebound. And Coleman will head to the line where she's 1 of 2 on the day. Lisa Sterdichka with the foul as Coleman makes the first. Coleman now 14 points. Julian will check in for Adderley. Rosemary Julian on the day, 16 points, 6 of 14. She's also been one of the players for Florida Gulf Coast, has done a fantastic job finishing. Her drive ability has been 100 today as that one is missed. Good defensive rebound there by China Dow. That's her 8th on the day. Nelson has to pick up her dribble. Gives it to Dow. Under a minute to go here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sterdichka thought about a 3. Looking to drive in the lane. She's got space, and she finishes. Sterdichka with a big bucket. She has 12. It is a 3-point Florida Gulf Coast lead. Campbell looking to drive. Aggressive is Campbell in the lane, and she was able to draw the foul. Almost called for the offensive foul. Sterdichka gets the foul. She's now fouled out. 12 points, 5 of 13 shooting, 1-1 from beyond the arc, 2 assists, but the 5 fouls. But a big bucket there late, able to finish, give her team a 3-point lead. And it'll force the Blue Demons to foul on this next possession as the shot clock is off, 25.8 seconds remaining. Campbell on the day, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe. And she misses. So the free throws starting to hurt the Blue Demons right now, and the shooting has been suffering here. It was subpar to start, hit and miss, but they have no field goals in the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds, while Florida Gulf Coast has hit 3 of their last 3. The Eagles are trying to improve to 6-0 on the year. I mentioned that's their second best start behind the 2010-11 season where they were 14-0 on the year. This is a good Florida Gulf Coast team. Reached the Division I level in the 2007-8 season. And they've been to 4 NCAA tournaments, all coming after 2012. They're one of 6 schools to win more than 25 games since the 2010-11 season. So this is not an easy matchup. Obviously, we know about the Florida Gulf Coast men's team, their famous win against Georgetown in the NCAA tournament. As Campbell makes 1 of 2, it's a 2-point lead for Florida Gulf Coast, and another timeout will be called. It's by Florida Gulf Coast. They have 1 remaining, so does Depaul. For Depaul, this is a very good program led by head coach Doug Bruno in his 32nd year at Depaul. They're looking for their 16th straight NCAA tournament appearance. They've been consistent, winning 20 or more games in the last 4 years. 14 of the last 15. They've been able to get to the Sweet 16, but never over the hump. They reached that last year, but unfortunately were eliminated. Blue Demons projected to finish 2nd in their conference behind the Marquette Golden Eagles in the Big East. 25.8 seconds remaining. Depaul is 3-1 on the year. Their lone loss came to Northern Colorado, first game of the year, 94-88. They have played an overtime game this year, winning 111-108 against Oklahoma. Games you don't see a lot of those in college basketball. And there's the foul. The Blue Demons had to foul. They will send Julian to the line where she's 4 of 5 on the day. That is on Allen, and for Allen, that's her 5th personal, so she'll head to the bench. 12 points, 4 of 13 shooting, 1 of 7 from 3. Marte Graves will check back in. For Rosemary Julian, free throw percentage 75 on the year. She's projected to be the 2017-18 preseason ASUN Player of the Year. She hits a big free throw there to make it a 3-point game. Trying to make it a 2-possession ball game, and she does. 23 of 30 from the line is Florida Gulf Coast. The Blue Demons have to score quick. Here's Campbell. Campbell looking to drive. Campbell gets in, and she will head to the line. Campbell draws another foul where she was 1 for 2 in her last trip. And for the Blue Demons, free throw miss and overtime have been killer. Foul was on Adderley, so she'll head to the bench. She fouls out, 11 points, 5 of 8 shooting. Good performance there from the sophomore from Jupiter, Florida. Campbell makes the first, 83-80. .9 seconds remaining. Campbell makes both. 2-point game. Blue Demons will have to foul, and they do. They'll foul Julian, and Julian will head to the line, where she just made 2 free throws. Ashton Millender picks up the foul, and that's a big foul for Millender. She will foul out 5 personal fouls. No, check that. That's now her 4th, sorry. The stat sheet updated before my eyes as Julian makes the first, 7 of 8. So you look at it for Depaul. They've got 4 players on the court with 4 personal fouls as Rosemary Julian comes up clutch yet again, 2 of 2. Campbell looking to drive again. Graves will try a 3. This will be big if it goes. Too strong, no good. Stonewall with the offensive board. Stonewall, head fake, will try a 3. That one goes. Stonewall, beautiful move. Her 2nd 3 of the game. She's 2 of 2. 1-point lead for Florida Gulf Coast with 6.3 seconds remaining. Shantae Stonewall, a sophomore from Normal in Illinois. A beautiful sequence there, and you got to give credit to her. She was able to get the offensive rebound from the miss. Got in the corner. The defender was coming, beautiful pump fake, got her in the air, and then was able to drain the three. So Florida Gulf Coast will have to try another sequence here. Get a couple free throws to make it a 3-point ball game. Julian has been fouled the last 2 possessions. She is 4 of 4. 6.3 seconds remaining. Katani inbounding the ball, and they give it to Julian, and Rosemary Julian will try to add to her 20-point game. Well, Stonewall made that 3, unfortunately is going to have to head to the bench. Another person has fouled out in this game. 15 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2, but only 17 minutes of play due to the foul trouble. So the Blue Demons will have to find someone else to rely on with 5.3 seconds remaining. Next game coming up is Ohio State versus Memphis. Scheduled start time 3 o'clock. Will be pushed back due to the overtime game as Julian makes the first. She's been automatic here in overtime. 9 of 10 as another timeout is called. Florida Gulf Coast as a team coming into this shot a subpar. Probably could be better. 64% as a team, but today they've improved it by 15%. 79. 26 of 33 on the day. 75% for the Blue Demons. Blue Demons came in a 72% free throw shooting team. They've had some crucial misses here in overtime that have really hurt them. If I'm counting it right, that's at least 3 misses. Could give them the lead right now. Julian will head to the line where she has been nothing but clutch right now. From the free throw line and on the field, 6 of 14 shooting. She had 3 rebounds and a couple steals to her name today. Second free throw is good. 5.3 seconds remaining. The Blue Demons, they need a 3. Coleman will bring it up the court, and a smart foul. That is a smart foul. Nelson will foul out of this game. 8 points, 4 of 7 shooting, but I don't see that a lot. A lot of teams that will force the opposing teams to shoot the 3, potential tying. Don't give them the opportunity. Waste some clock here. Get the fouls. Try to get the clock down as little as you can. It's now 2.4. So Coleman, I believe, will try to hit this first one and then purposely miss the second. And as she misses. So even if Depaul gets the offensive rebound, they're going to have to go out for desperation 3. Another free throw miss. Coleman. This one is no good. Rebound by China Dow, and that will end the game momentarily. Nope, they're going to call a foul with 0.4 seconds remaining as Florida Gulf Coast. Their bench was excited, but the referee's whistle just beat the buzzer. And it's on Campbell. Second personal, and Florida Gulf Coast, it's a big win for them. They will knock off the 21st ranked team in the USA Today coaches poll. As we will get a look at the clock. Won't matter much. Florida Gulf Coast will improve to 6-0 on the year. The Blue Demons will fall to 3-2. And the Blue Demons will head to the consolation bracket, while Florida Gulf Coast will head to the positive side of the bracket, and they will face the winner of the Ohio State-Memphis game. Scheduled time is in about 9 minutes, but as I mentioned, it will be pushed back due to the overtime game. 0.8 seconds will be put on the game clock. China Dow will head to the line. She'll be the leading scorer for Florida Gulf Coast right now at 24 points. Rosemary Julian, 22 points. Both of them have been fantastic from the free throw line. Combined 22 out of 24.
From the Mandalay Bay event in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's game number 6 in the 9 Ohio State women's basketball.
First free throw attempt by Dow. She gets it to go. Always got to be careful as an announcer. You don't want to pump up the free throw percentage, because more times than not, the curse hits as China Dow hits both. She finishes with 26 points and a great win. What a great first game to start out here at the Play for K Showcase at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Eagles upset the Depaul Blue Demons 89-84. Beautiful. We play a game by both teams, but unfortunately one team has to win, one team has to lose. So we will head to a break here. Hopefully you stay with us for our next scheduled matchup between Ohio State and Memphis. We'll be right back here on FlowHoops.com.